I would never ever come across a subject that would teach us something about confidence. Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to tell you something about confidence and how your confidence is straight and directly connected with the level of calmness you will experience in life. And I've lived through it, I've done it, I've been there, and I think that if this would connect with at least one person watching this video was successful and it has fulfilled its meaning. So let's get into it. Because what I've been realizing more and more, and I keep seeing it also with my friends, with people that I meet, with my clients, that so many things in life, so many experiences, and the reactions we have to those experiences are just led with the level of confidence we have either somehow developed in our childhood or we have developed it, in our adulthood later. However, I see how it is so necessary to at least have the intention of improving the confidence in any way you can. And we as children, we don't really understand what is confidence. Even in addition, when we don't have any authority, any role model that would represent the level of confidence that has the function of pretty much a shield and or like a silo that we can just walk with in the world and be okay with any reaction on our address. We can be okay with just anyone not liking us. We can be okay with other people's opinions. And I really love school, honestly. I do love the periodic table. I do love the math equations that I have already forgotten. But, I would never ever come across a subject that would teach us something about confidence. I would never, I never come, I have never come across for a subject that would put us in the first place. Maybe philosophy, but that's already a university topic, or I don't know, maybe. By the way, that's this topic of putting yourself first is or usually is um, even less stressed on schools with like topics on religion, because you really have to put others first, or at least that's what I've experienced or what I've heard. However, um, you don't really come across a subject on confidence and on how to be really like resilient person in the world, and I think that's a huge mistake. I think that's really a gap in this system. That's why I'm actually making this video, maybe just to bring awareness on how foundational confidence in a human being is. Because, and that's what Gary Vee says, and I love it so much. He was once speaking to a fan on some event, and the woman said that she's really scared of her children being, abused or being laughed at for whatever reason, for any differences that their children or her children had. And Gary just responded with, build confidence within them. That is the thing that is the foundation that they cannot be shaken. Once you have confidence, you cannot be shaken with. Of course, you can, we all have feelings. I also remember that right now when someone would say, I don't know, a comment on my dress, I would maybe think about it, because we should always start within ourselves. Like, okay, aren't we really the problem? But if we, go through our internal work, if we really go through the process of figuring out that, okay, I believe that I have, I don't know, maybe behaved or I have taken steps that were, according to my values and to my beliefs, what is best. I'm okay, I'm okay with myself. And what that means This comment might be just an opinion, and maybe this person just had a very shitty day, and so they maybe needed to, pour their hearts onto someone. I really appreciate that I'm able to respond like that right now, because I remember myself that, like 10 years ago, that would be like, for the one day, that would be like the end of the day. Like the day would end by the moment I would read a comment that would be on my address, and it wouldn't be a compliment. I would be still thinking about this one thing. I would be journaling about it, which is a good thing, and it helped me a lot. But I would be still thinking about it, like, wait, why is this person like not liking it? Why is this person, why did he or she take the time to literally put down a comment that is not a compliment? And so I would be always really confused and so stressed about it. And so that's connected directly with the level of calmness I was experiencing at that time, which was 0. And I remember that I would be really always alert. When you have this like trauma response, fight, flight, or freeze, I would be usually one of them. I don't know if my friends would realize, or if my friends noticed, if anyone noticed really. The thing is, you can pretty much fake it, that you're okay, that that all is well. And right now, when I can differentiate the moment where I do have the peace in mind, I do have the solid, grounded energy when I go and meet someone new, or meet anyone, or speak to anyone, and I can take my time with speaking, I don't have to rush anything. And I can really see the difference back with the situation back then, when I would be rushing everything. I would be still in this running mode, or this freeze mode, where I wouldn't be able to just say a word when it would come to public speaking, or like presenting something. No way. Even worse, if someone would ask me a question and I would be like, I would have like no clue what to answer, that would be like the end of conversation, I think. And now if we compare these two situations, like the lives, let's say, because like 10 years back you were already like a different person, right now you're also a different person, so we can compare these two lives, let's say. So this life, when a person has established already a confidence, and by the way, you can establish your confidence in any age. It's something like learning how to draw. It's a skill. It's just based on the seriousness that you want to go in with, into this journey, and it's just based on your level of commitment. Like, if the pain from not being confident is still smaller than the pain of changing, of doing the work, well, then save this video and come back when the pain from not being confident gets a little bit bigger than the pain from the effort. Because trust me, I don't know when, but you will need this video. If you don't need it now, you will need it later. Or any kind of video on confidence. Like, you don't have to use my videos, but you will need to change. Because at some point, imagine life as building house from bricks. And so let's imagine that you have a just a simple paper like this, and imagine you're building a house on this surface, which literally you can destroy it in so many creative ways, and it's very easy for you to destroy it, to tear it, to break it, whatever. And imagine like getting all these responsibilities. Imagine talking to so many important people, handling the stress from these conversations, from the importance from these conversations, handling the stress from your family life, from the job, from everything. Imagine that you would be building on this. If you take something like solid that you can't really break, if you would build a house on, let's imagine that this is like really solid, like steel or something. Like once you build this, you will, even by the way you sit, even by the way you just move, by the way you react on random sounds, you can just see yourself literally shifting your identities into someone who has their shit together, no matter what. Okay, of course, sometimes there might be some breakdowns, in life where, like life happens. And the only way how to heal from emotions and from trauma and from a very serious situation is just to like let it flow, because otherwise you would be storing it inside and it would grow and grow, and then it would explode. And then, it comes with like burnout or with the chronic stress and whatever. It's not recommended to just keep your emotions inside. Just really like let it flow. But the moment you feel like you have let it go, like say it to yourself, like, okay, this is done. This chapter, this situation is solved emotionally within me. I'm good. I'm ready to conquer the world again. And I have seen myself being very vulnerable. So now I can trust myself even more because I know my both sides. I know my dark side and I know my light side. And so I also do have a few exercises for you. I've written them down because this is what really helped me to realize what kind of confidence and what kind of version of myself is the one that is really confident and whom I can trust. And because, when you imagine two people and both would be your friends, who would you trust more? The self-conscious, the low self-esteem, the one that, his voice trembles when he speaks, versus the one that just goes anywhere, handles it, even though he fucks up sometimes. That's okay, because he can just like handle and go through any situation through life. He will always survive it, and he knows that about himself. Who would you trust more? And so we want to literally make you, from this type of person, this type of person. Like you want to switch those identities. One of the first steps that you can do to start this journey, if you want to. And I'm offering 3 exercises that are amazing and that are very much practical. You can do them after watching this video. I don't like very much theory, but what I have to say is that confidence, as I have observed, is connected mainly with 3 things. The first one is inner work, and it's chronologically. Inner work is the first thing that we have to do if we really want to, like, you cannot really trust a place if you haven't explored it. You go into a new city and you just don't know the city. You have to first explore it, and then you can see, okay, I might not really come by this street because there might be some danger. Okay, I know. Knowledge makes you trust. Also, knowledge about someone else makes you trust themselves more. And confidence is directly connected with self-trust. So that's why the inner work is so important. Then it's the actual work. It's the middle phase. And the middle phase is always the most messy thing. It's the doing. Because once you understand, then you can apply what you have learned about yourself on doing. You can maybe analyze yourself during presentation. Okay, where I was stuttering. Okay, where I was, where my hands started to shake. Okay, it's like 10 seconds after me introducing the topic. All right, good. What can I do with that, And then you learn about it. You learn about the problem. Maybe why am I starting to feel like this? Oh, I feel like people were more like assessing me than listening to me, I feel like they don't really trust that I have something to offer. Okay, it's something with trusting people. Okay, might be something with feeling that other people judge you. It might be something with just, yeah, very much being connected with the external opinions of others, external validation. Why? From my childhood. Okay, my parents maybe said to me something like in third grade, oh, you have A's, or you have a good grades, you're an amazing girl, you're an amazing boy. And if you had like bad grades, they were just giving you bread for dinner. I don't know, whatever. So there is usually beliefs are always connected in childhood, and it's usually like the place where we go when we want to explore the truth a little bit more, which we always wanna. And so then you come back, you have the knowledge. This is like the whole knowledge that you can like literally explore. What can you do about yourself to break the belief? You might do some techniques that will improve your hands to not shake, during the presentation. You might do something like sayings for actors just to avoid the stuttering before presentation, or you might attend a course, you might do something. And this doing, what it is doing, it's creating the third thing, and that's proof. That's proof that you went there, that you actually faced the fear, that you have actually did something, like done something for yourself. So it is a proof that you care about yourself, and that you're not indifferent towards yourself. And so when someone would be doing all of this for you, when imagine your best friend would be doing all of this for you and would mean it with pure intention of just getting you better, wouldn't you trust him more? Wouldn't you love him more? That's because that's just another way how to explain that we are literally our best friends. And so these are the three things that I had to mention before sharing with you these three exercises. And each exercise is connected with each phase. And so the first exercise is writing exercise. And it's like, I would say, you can pick one situation from your life when you would feel tension, when you would feel that you freeze in that moment, like during one conversation or during, as I said, presentations are usually like the biggest thing. Then I would say decisions, calming down overthinking, people pleasing, setting boundaries. That's a huge topic. And so I want you to just, think about this one thing and set a timer for maybe like 5 minutes. Like you can either journal about it, or you can, if you like don't really like journaling, even though I really recommend it, you can just think about it and really think about it in silence. Don't stimulate your brain with any kind of music. Really like do your best to do it in silence, and ask yourself about that one situation, like what I really want in that one situation, what I really want in that situation for me or for the overall good. When it comes to the setting boundaries, what I actually want from that situation to feel like. Maybe I want the situation for me to let them realize that I actually do have more things than my work. Maybe I want them to realize that I'm not the person that is always going to be here for any additional tasks that, boss cannot really make. Maybe I really want them, to know that I really want to be respected, and it's not like good for me to respect. It's needed and it's wanted and expected to be respected. So this is the first question. And the second question, am I pretending to do something, or to maybe agree with something, or to think something in order to just look good, in order to just fit in, to not be judged? And these are things that when you name what you really want, and when you really name honestly what might be your performance self trying to hide from them, like maybe you're scared of being judged, so you act like you agree, you act like you're one of them, just not to be judged, you know. And so when you get this knowledge, you come closer to yourself, you can get the clarity from what you really want and from your hidden beliefs. And these, of course, you have to then work on them, but you're gonna work on them in the second phase, and that is the doing. I'm gonna just tell you one exercise, or it's not exercise, it's actually like a real life application. Just set boundaries. Try to set boundaries. Like, hi John, thanks for reaching out. I cannot, it doesn't fit in my schedule. Thanks, have a lovely day. That's it. You can just write answer emails like that. I believe you once did, but there might be some moments where you really want to explain why. You don't have to. And if they're really like, if you're really out of time and you're just rushing so much, not responding, I know that it's not polite in the most cases, but if you really like cannot keep track of everything, like, you don't have to respond to everything. If they're reacting like, oh, I'm taking it personally, this is a personal attack and I don't like this person anymore and I judge them, well, then you even don't want to like really work with them if they're not your bosses, or if they're not someone that would be directly connected with you. Like, you always know the context, you know what to do in that moment. Trust your gut. And in the second moment, if you don't respond, or if you just respond, hi, I just can't make it, they're gonna be considerate. They're gonna be like, all right, maybe this person is really tired, and I get it, like, we're not superhumans, right? It's okay, no worries, take care. So in either way, you kind of get to know also their truer side, which is also a good side effect, I would say. But the most important thing here is that you have stated your boundaries, and that's it. And so the third exercise. So for the 7 days, you would do one thing that would be so stupid simple, like write in the journal for 5 minutes, go on a walk for 15 minutes, make yourself a smoothie that's just very, very healthy. You will see yourself doing things for yourself. You will see the proof. How do you feel when you're trying to maybe lose weight? Or would you think that you would feel if you tried to lose weight, you were eating better foods? How would you feel about what you're capable of? I believe that from more than 50%, it would increase into higher self-trust, into, okay, if there is something new, I might as well try it. I survived through many things. I survived through many, many gym sessions that were just horrible. And I'm here and I'm, safe. And so I might as well try it. And like that, you get into the spiraling, like upward spiral. If you keep being patient and if you keep just doing the work, if you don't give up, there is no way you can fail, because it's all in your hands. And I think that that's the beautiful thing, that it's always there for us. Confidence is always there for you. It just waits, in the cupboard, like, just pick me already. I can make your life so much easier. Oh, with confidence, everything is so much easier also. It's so interesting how you can just go out and you feel less resistance towards anything. You feel less resistance towards speaking to a random person, because you have this rock solid foundation that you've built. And so nothing can really shake with you. And so if you want, and if you feel like, definitely try these 3 exercises. I deeply recommend it for you. Take that, few moments in your day, and yeah, try to work with these. You can let me know in the comments how it went for you. I'd be very happy for that. If you want to become unshakable, don't hesitate and check out the description of the video. You can join our free community on School if you would like. And if you want to talk about this topic a little bit more, if you want to talk about this, like, uniquely about your situation, hop on a casual with me. And it's gonna be also the link on my calendar in the description of the video. We can briefly just talk about your situation. I can give you some clarity. I can tell you what might be your next steps. And yeah, we're just gonna have a good time. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Stay awesome. And I'll see you somewhere.